be calling you a radical. So, Japan apparently says they've made the decision to dump the tanks. If you believe that, I got a bridge I want to sell you in New York, in Brooklyn. So, by the way, thought I got something in my throat. Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw. Talk about a God. I wish I was still a gambler back in the day. Talk about free money. Anyway, so back to Obama. Speaking of choking, how about the court on the Reagan case? What a dog and pony show that has turned out to be. So, let's do some math, kiddies. So, TEPCO, which is the global nuclear oligarch. Now, remember, Obama Japan, Trump Japan, Abe. 1945, near the Russian eco-catastrophe, Yalta by the Sea. Stalin meets with FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. Winston Churchill tags along, the Queen's bitch on a leash. MI6 on Balco. They divide up the world. Russia takes, let's see, how many men did Russia lose in that war? You go World War I, you go the Russian famine, you go, where's the Bolsheviks when you fucking need them? Tsar Putin. The famine. You know, by the way, Chernobyl, where it was built, was their answer to the famine. You know, it was all marsh and all wetlands, kind of like, you know, the great Mississippi Delta we drained. Just dike it up higher and higher. Dig it deeper and deeper. They turned it into their food basket. So, whoops, nuclear ruined that. They divide up the world. Russia takes Eastern Europe. The family. Tsar Putin. He's a president. He's not a czar for 20-something years. King Z. Wannabe. The only thing that takes these people out is death. Ask Abby. You know, I know the Prime Minister of Japan because he lives in San Diego. He used to speak there all the time. I talked to him about Fukushima. Why did you're so anti, he gets real emotional, especially when I talk to the USS Reagan case. He gets really emotional. He starts to cry. Well, you're the one that built it up. The CIA made me do it. I went to school when I was a kid. Did you? I read books. I had teachers. We learned World War II and one history. One family run the world. You go to the Romanov Russian royal families. When they finally found the bone pile, and they dug up Anastasia's bone marrow. Remember her lying in Virginia saying she was Anastasia all them years? Anastasia, Snowden, tomato, Abby A. So they did an international. Who's the heir to this giant fortune? Because we're going to put the empire back. Millions of DNA tests. Believe it or not, it was a pizza kid in Chicago was one of them. Yeah. Your dreams could come true, Cinderella. You could marry a prince. You could win the lottery. You could become the next American Voice. You could be the next Jeff Bezos CEO. Now you study hard, kids. Something happened on the way to that place. They threw a Fukushima nuclear flag in our face. So the closest match was who? Prince Harry. He went to Jared, Prince Wannabe, Harry Westinghouse. Rosemary's Baby. John. I like how Trump uses Lennon's old line. Chapman says that's why he shot him, which I think is total bullshit because he gets his conjugal visits from his Japanese wife. So his partner in crime, they were at World Vision together. None of this is conspiracy. I don't do conspiracy. That shot Reagan, Hinckley, he's out of jail. Remember Lennon to Lennon? John Lennon said, I'm more famous than Jesus. Well, Trump says I'm second more famous only to Jesus. Okay, all right. Well, there's been some pretty famous evil people in freaking history. What about Hitler? I think Trump's more famous than Hitler. I don't think so. Don't think so. What about Stalin? Oh. So it's being reported now that Trump's monster EPA, this is the monster EPA they are. So they're going to allow radioactive material to be used in road construction material. Well, it's stockpiled. This is a good way to get rid of it. Well, that's what the nuclear mob's always told us. There's a Chicago Tribune reporter that watches these videos. Old one. She says, your rant about my grandkids, why didn't you stand up, has gotten to me. I had the goods on the nuclear energy crime syndicate, as you called them. I didn't come forward. They were using it for road base. So Trump EPA says, well, what about the construction workers? What about the road workers? What about the people that have to move these materials? They have to grade these materials. What about the walkers? I walk. Trump's a fucking environmental terrorist. This guy is the most evil fucking human being that's ever been in the White House. I didn't think you could pass Obama or Bush. I mean, think about the fucking murder Bush responsible for. You know, all these guys coming back from Fallujah now, coming back from the old Russian nuclear test facility. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get Dick Cheney and crew a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. How nice is they invented boogeyman fucking make it up manufactured CIA ISIS. FDR to Winston Churchill. Well, I got to tell you, Winston's living at the White House. There'll be no monarchies after this war. There'll be no royal families. This inbred royal family that destroyed the world is over, including the Queen of England. Now remember Teddy, his uncle, wanted to invade Canada after him and his artist friends went down to Cuba and threw the Spanish king out. The Spanish have been in here in the United States, right here in Utah, for almost 400 years, stealing children. Oh yeah, ask Little Soldier. He's buried right next to my dad. Murdering indigenous native people. I was just reading about Fort Utah at BYU, Mount Timpanogos. The Mormons murdered the Timpanogos tribe. Well, they called in the cavalry. So, Winston, you're flying right in the face of jolly old Mother England. By the way, the English royal family are not English. They're German. So is I just explained that to you. So is Tsar Putin. So is the Saudi royal family. They're all Rockefeller's baby, Russell's baby, Rothschild's baby, Rosemary's baby. They don't illuminate, they radiate. I'll get by with a little help from my friends. Linda Epstein. How come we haven't heard anything from her? Maxwell. The club. But I know, Winston Churchill, the FDR, if I don't go along with you, we're going to go down the same way our cousins did in Russia. I have to play ball, we have to play long ball. try to kick out the other end. FDR. I went to London when I was an 11-year-old boy. I saw the Queen. I hated the old witch. There's nothing more quintessentially American to hate the English royal family in the name of George Washington, in the name of Alexander Hamilton, in the name of Thomas Jefferson, in the name of Abraham Lincoln. By the way, I'm a direct descendant of Abraham Lincoln. And you don't think us Mormons know? Something rotten in the New Denmark. Talk about genealogy. That's all they do. They live in the past. They live in the future. They hunker down and forget to live in the present, Einstein. Oh, they played long ball. All these presidents, it's true they're related. Trump and Hillary are cousins. Joan of Bonaparte, the Scottish evil queen, guess what her two sons were named? Donald I and Donald II. Trump grew up in New York in the day when the mob ran the freaking city. He's a wannabe mobster. He talks in mob lingo. He acts in mob lingo. But he forgot the mob jumped teams. Oh, they're all nuclear waste and nuclear energy, but that mob and the rest of the world got killed by the real mob. Go to Italy and ask them. Go to Austria and ask them. By the way, there's nuclear waste all over Italy. There's nuclear waste from Italy here. Mike Lee brought it here. I caught him dead red. These people don't realize that this nuclear fallout, even the mob, it even kills them. So they're going to dump at Fukushima. Okay. They've been dumping the whole time. The eco disaster, I got a call. Well, I got an email yesterday, third party from San Diego. He says, I'm a Russian biologist. He says, your theory at the peninsula is dead on. We know it's off. We know it's Fukushima. Putin won't allow us to say it. Remember when Teddy Roosevelt settled the war? They've been fighting for centuries. Remember he got a Nobel Peace Prize, Teddy did, for settling the war between Russia and Japan, fighting over that very said peninsula. Oh, boy, they got it now. The United States, Yalta by the Sea, took Japan. Barry Antoinette Obama, Japan. The only thing he ever true said when he ate his fake sushi. If you don't believe me, you ask Caroline Kennedy. These treaties were signed long before I was born. TEPCO dumping is a farce. The United States, lock, stock, barrel, 100% is running the dog and pony show at Fukushima, Japan. Inside the Situation Room, March 11, 2012. They're all in there. 32 ships have been sent in. The Navy Admiral, we're going in, we're going to entomb it. We sent 32 ships, we're going to handle this. Barack Obama, on the advice of John Holdren, turned him around. If you go in, you will expose this catastrophe to the world, and the nuclear energy industry is over. The mob who owns Obama. Not my words, Hillary's words. Remember her attack ad? She's running against Obama. He's propped up by the nuclear industry. So is Trump. All of them. They didn't entomb it to protect the industry. Oh, we have nanotechnology. We can handle it. They lied. I was in front of the White House, standing at the gate when TEPCO was summoned in. I went into the Department of Energy that day in 2013. I was there. They brought him in, and they fired everybody that was in charge and brought in who? Lake Barrett? Do I know Lake Barrett? Lake Barrett's admitted to me that he's admitted to me, third party through Mark. That sunflower that I have in my yard was made in Lake Barrett's freaking yard. Here comes the sun. Wait, I have Kevin Blanche on the phone here. Mark, his maintenance guy. Oh, right directly over. Oh, we got to get a picture of this. Oh, we got to get this. We got to get this. Right over the mighty Mount Ogden. Thomas Hart Benton. May 10th, right here where I'm at. 1869, Promontory, Utah. I envision someday a statue of Christopher Columbus on the highest Rocky Mountain peak, pointing right there at the mighty Mount Ogden. Here comes the sun. Had to get that. This is all ran by the United States. There's my credentials, Lake Barrett. Well, Kevin Blanch says that this is full-blown out meltdowns and that there's no handle on this and they screwed up. And Obama got had by Holdren, who's teaching at Harvard next to Heyman and Ortiz, who killed Aaron Swartz. When Aaron Swartz, MIT Media Lab, connect these fucking dots. Edward Snowjob, who's at Fukushima, Japan, hands the chip to Laura, the MIT endowment's daughter. Why would he give it to her? And none of it's out. I asked Glenn Greenwald. He ran. They'll run for me. Alison McFarland's run for me. And I'm very cordial. They see me in there. Gregory Jacko inside the Situation Room cowered down. I read Hillary's emails online before anybody even knew they were leaked out. They're all the cover-up of Fukushima. The retracted ones are all the cover-up. Fuck Vice. Fuck. I do fucking 10 times the work. Remember when Vice interviewed me? And, it was pretty chilly, Kevin Blanch, you know. We tricked him. We whispered through the crowd and Vice fucking went home, went to bed. Because they can't finish the fucking job. They can't hang. Nobody can hang with me anymore. Fucking. It's too fucking tough. When the cowards get fucking tough gets going. The going gets tough. America, home of the cowards, land of the weaklings, home of the afraid. If you don't believe me, that's true. Look at the United States Supreme Court. Completely hijacked 5 illegitimate Supreme Court judges. Think about the Toboggan Pony show they played you on Afghanistan, on Iraq, boogeyman on ISIS. Inside the Situation Room. Well, we want to send in the USS Reagan. No, you'll kill all those guys. Cartwright, the guy who got found guilty. Yeah, the Marine. Obama pardoned him. Make it so. They radiate their own men. Now nuclear waste. Trump. Go ahead and use radioactive material to build roads. That's exactly what the mob's been doing for years. I had the goods, Kevin. In Chicago, the mob was using it for road base. They threatened me and I didn't print it. Unless you stand up, guess what? Nuclear fallout kills the mob. Speaking of New York, that interview, there's a guy that follows me around in New York showed up and he looks just like Mike Tyson. There's a great interview with Mike Tyson with one of the mobster promoters. You know, nothing more corrupt than the boxing industry, the mob. And he says, I know for a fact that the mob runs 9 nuclear reactors in the U.S. Who do you think's running in Japan? The United States Mafia, called the Department of Energy. The greatest organized crime syndicate in the history of the world. United States police force, have they turned into gangs and mobs? Oh, yeah. But no mob and gangs bigger than the United States Department of Energy. That's who's running the cleanup of Fukushima, Japan. That's who's running it. They run the whole show. Special election. Abby's dying of cancer. What a saga. Santuna, the water dumping's a farce. It's a fucking lie. They've been dumping the whole time. It's the fucking United States and their billions. Until you overturn Price Anderson and hold these fucking rats accountable, this is the greatest crime in human history. It's the greatest event in human history. Thank you everybody who supported this historic work. I'll be in D.C. soon. Working on my teeth. I'll get by with a little help from my friends. Stay tuned.